तत्प्रविश्यमो वाचं मां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्य किल शक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना ज्ञानश्चतुष्टचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते उत्थाय तुभ्यम् गुरुः हि स्वयं सत्यः प्रज्ञा भक्तिविनीतयः दीप्तिश्चाविवृताः सत्यम् गुरुम् प्रणमाम्यहम् सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. We were in 60th verse, so let us start from 55. कश्यूरः योगीरत्रागः त्राताचकः सद्गुरुः ओहि जगद्गुरुतः शम्भुः ज्ञानन्तः शिवादेव मुक्तिं लभेत कस्मात् मुकुन्दभक्तेः मुकुन्दः कः यस्तारयेद विद्याम् काचा विद्या यदात्मनो स्फूर्तिः कस्य न शोकः यस्यागः क्रोधः किं सुखम् तुष्टिः ओ राजा प्ररञ्जनकृत् कश्च श्वा नीचसेवको यस्यात् ओहो मायी परमेशः कैन्द्रजालायते प्रपञ्चोऽयम् कस्वप्ननिभः जाग्रद्व्यवहारः सत्यममिदयम् ब्रह्म किं मिथ्या यद्विद्यानश्यम् तुच्छम् दोक्षविषाणाली काचायर्वाच्या मायाः किं कल्पितम् द्वैतम् किं पारमार्थिकम् स्यात् अद्वैतम् चाज्ञतातः अनादिः वपुषश्च पोषकम् किम् प्रारब्धम् चान्नदायिकिम् चायुः. In the previous class, we discussed the meaning of the first half of this 60th verse. Kim paramarthikam syat advaitam chajñata kutaha anadihi. Vapushascha poshakam kim prarabdham channadayi kim chayuhu. So, kim paramarthikam syat advaitam ajñata kutaha anadi. So, in the vision of Vedanta, this bandha that is being experienced by this jiva is essentially due to ajnana. From when does this ajnana originate? We do not know. So it is anadi. That is what was stated. So ajnana refers to Atma Swarupa ajnana, and that is anadi. And how do we get rid of ajnana? Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yoga. Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yogan Mumukshoho Mukter Hetum Bhakti Sakshat Shrutergihi Yavayate Shvevatishtatyamushya Moksho Vidya Kalpitat Dehabandhat. Mokshaha avidya kalpitat dehabandha. So that is what it is. Moksha avidya kalpitat deha bandhat. So avidya kalpitat means it has been created by avidya. Okay. So what is created by avidya? This bandha. So this bandha is created by avidya, and unless we accept that it is created by avidya, there is no way that you can get rid of bandha by jnana. Okay. So only vidya and avidya are pairs of opposites. So moksho vidya kalpita deha bandha. Now the question is, this next question is somewhat related. So deha bandha, when you say a certain bondage with this sharira. Okay. So bondage with this sharira. So this bondage, this binding is something which can be intellectually handled, something which cannot be, something can be physically handled. There are two kinds of bindings that one can think of. Okay. So your hands are bound. Means physically it can be bound by rope. So you also metaphorically use the phrase, my hands are bound, which means I cannot commit to any other work. So this kind of bondage that we are talking about, deha bandha here, is not something which is physical, but it has to do something which is in your own intellectual frame. Moksho avidya kalpitatu deha bandha. Now the next question is, deha is referred to by the word vapuhu. Vapushascha koshakam kim prarabdham. Question. So how do I get rid of this bandha? When will this happen? Obviously, since it is avidya kalpita, the moment the jnana comes, bandha should be gone. But the question in this Advaita Vedanta is, so will the deha continue to be there, or will it cease to exist soon after jnana? So the answer that is discussed at great length even in Brahma Sutras is, till what is known as prarabdha is there, this deha will continue to be there. What is this prarabdha? Prarabdha literally means that which has begun. This is what it means. Prarabdham. Prarabdham. Arabdham. Prarabdham. Okay. Prakarashena arabdham. Prarabdham. Okay. This was no. Arabdha. What is that? Asankalpitadeve yadakasmat pravartate. Nivartyarambham arabdham. Arabdham means that which has begun. This is what it means. Arabdham. So what is arabdham here? So arabdha here refers to certain karmas which have started yielding fruits to be experienced by you with this physical frame. This is what is technically called prarabdha. In fact, even in colloquial language, in Tamil also we just say, if something unpleasant happens, so then you say prarabdha. Okay. So prarabdha means it is an effect of that prarabdha karma. So karma, so theoretically, they classify into three types. Okay. Sanchita, prarabdha and agami. Okay. So this is how they classify karma. So with the advent of jnana, the moment this enlightenment happens, so it is said, so theoretically, that the other two karmas, they are burnt by jnana. So Sanchita and Agami, are burnt by jnana, whereas prarabdha remains. So it is the effect of prarabdha that this person has to get enlightened in this physical frame. And whatever period for which this physical frame has to exist in this world, it will exist. Okay? So that is why we have even this phrase, Jivan Muktaha. The Jivan means till this physical body is associated with life. Okay? So even as he remains with this physical body, he is still a free person. So this is what one understands by Jivan Muktaha. Now the question here is Vapushascha Poshakam Kim. Poshakam means what nourishes this body. Literally, Poshakam means what protects, what nourishes. What nourishes this physical frame that this person possesses. So there the answer is Prarabdham. So it is the karma. So theoretically, jnana burns. Jnana extinguishes only the other karma, leaving out prarabdha. So prarabdha, so they give generally the example. So once you sort of pedal the cycle, so till it goes and stops, the momentum which has been created will continue to be rolling, and then at some stage it will stop. So then the prarabdha is over. Okay? So this is how they say. In fact, there is a adhikarana in Brahmasutra Bhashya, which is exclusively devoted to this in the 4th chapter. Anarabdhakarye evatu purve tadavadhe. This is the sutra in 4th adhyaya. Anarabdhakarye evatu. So what perishes, what extinguishes is the question. So anarabdhakarye. So anarabdhakarya here refers to those karmas which this person has accumulated, which are yet to start giving fruits. So they say among the bunch of karma, so the karma that has been chosen to give so experiences in this janma, you call it prarabdha. It is a technical term that is used here. So the siddhanta there is Anarabdhakarye evatu purve. So purve refers to so that which has been accumulated by him in the previous janma with previous shariras, as well as the karma which has been committed by him, whether it is punya or papa, till the jnanotpatti in this janma, in this physical plane. Okay? Both these. So what is accumulated earlier and what is accumulated in this area, both of them, so they get extinguished. So this is what the Siddhanta is. So that is what Acharya keeps in his mind when he says, Vapushascha Poshakam Kim. This Vapushaha Poshakam Kim. So because it is all in the context of Advaita, Ajnana and Prarabdha. So Advaitam Anadihi Ajnata Vapushascha Poshakam Kim Prarabdham. In fact, there is a beautiful sloka which Acharya himself has composed in Manisha Panchakam. So I will just tell that it is worth reading. So since it is anyway Shankara Jayanti, it beautifully says finally, Prarabdhaya Samarpitam Savavapuhu Nityesha Manisha Mama. So I'll tell, you can repeat. Shashvannashwarameva
Shashvannashwarameva
Vishwamakhilam Nischitya Vacha Guroho Nityam Brahma Nirantaram Vimrishata
विमृशता
निर्व्याजशान्तात्मना निर्व्याजशान्तात्मना भूतं भावि च दुष्कृतं प्रदहता संविन्मये पावके प्रारब्धाय समर्पितं स्ववपुः इत्येषा मनीषा मम Manisha Panchakam is a beautiful set of 5 verses composed by Adi Shankara. So the third verse, he says, Shashvannashwarameva Vishwamakhilam. So Nashwaram, so the entire universe that is available for your perception is all Nashwara. Nashwara means it is going to perish one day. Nishchitya vacha guroho vacha nishchitya. So from the Upadesha of teacher having understood this, Nityam Brahma Nirantaram Vimrishata. Vimrishata means, so it is, so Manana Nididhyasana, etc. That is what is Vimrisha means analysis and so on. So one who keeps on contemplating on this. So Nityam Brahma Nirantaram means continuously. So practicing this. This is what is Abhyas Vasana. Nityam Brahma Nirantaram Vimrisata Nirvyaja Santatmana. See here, having said, so for this person, so who does all this upasana, karma and so on towards that jnana, so once he gets enlightened and he becomes a complete Santatma, what happens? He says, Samvinmaye pavake pradahata. Samvit means jnana. Here refers to Atma jnana. Samvinmaye pavake. Pavakaha refers to fire. So the fire in the form of Atma jnana, Samvinmaye pavake, unto that, Samvinmaya means in the form. Samvinmaya, Annamayam Shariram, means Annaprachuram. So this is what it is. So Annamayam. So Jalamaya Pradesha. Mrinmayam. Mrinmaya means made of clay, composed of clay. So Samvinmaye Pavake. So here, Bhutam Bhavicha Dushkritam Pradahata. In fact, there is a type of Bhavicha. Bhutam Bhavicha. Bhutam means, so, Sanchita Karma and Agami. Bhutam Bhavicha Dushkritam Pradahata. Pradahata, as he burns it, what happens? Prarabdhaya samarpitam swavapuhu. Swavapuhu prarabdhaya samarpitam. Means it has been handed over to prarabdha. So handed over to prarabdha, what does it mean? This person no more cares for this sharira. So whatever it is to be done with this sharira, the prarabdha takes care. So that is the vision that this person has. Prarabdhaya samarpitam svavapuhu ityesha manisha mama. So this is how, so he beautifully describes, okay, so in Manisha Panchakam, what this prarabdham is. In fact, we have another simple, nice verse, even in Viveka Chudamani, regarding this thing. Prarabdha sutra grathitam shariram. Repeat. Prarabdha sutra grathitam shariram. Prarabdha sutra grathitam shariram. Prayat Prayatuva Tishtatu Gorivasrak. Prayatuva Tishtatu Gorivasrak. Prayatuva Tishtatu Gorivasrak. Natat Punah Pashyati Tattvaveta. Natat Punah Pashyati Tattvaveta. Natat Punah Pashyati Tattvaveta. Anandatmana. Nandatmana. It has to be together. Anandatmana Brahmani Navrittihi. Nandatmana Brahmani Navrittihi. Nandatmana Brahmani Navrittihi. So he said, Prarabdhaya Samarpitam. Samarpitam means once you leave it, you don't care for it. I have given it to you. Samarpitam means completely left to you. So this is what the experience of the jnani is given. So that is what he clarifies in Vivekachudamani. He says, see, Prarabdha Sutra Grathitam Shariram. Grathitam means it has been sort of tied up. See, Prarabdha Sutrena Grathitam. Metaphorical, it has been built up. So this Grathitam is basically because he uses the phrase Srak later. So Srak means Pushpa. Okay? Srak means Pushpa. Srak Chandana Vanita Sukham. Srak means Pushpa. So here he says, Prayatuva Tishtatu Gorivasrak. Gorivasrak is a beautiful simile that he draws, Acharya. So you go and offer a beautifully made garland upon the neck of cow. So whether you tie some sutra or you offer some beautiful garland made of rose and other jasmine, it doesn't make any difference for cow. Goho eva srakvi, as the cow doesn't care for what is around its neck. It only knows that there is something around the neck. Okay, tie. So similarly, so this jnani, so prayatuva tishtatu. So whether you remove that garland or you don't remove that garland, the cow doesn't care for. So too, when this Atma Jnani who got enlightened lives with this Veera, so whether you offer something, so great reverence or you don't offer reverence, so all these things do not really matter for him. Whether he gets some good food or he doesn't get them. Okay. So all those things really do not matter for him. That's what he's saying. Prayatuva tishtatu gorivasrak. So then he says, Natat punah pashyati tattvaveta. Tattvaveta punaha na pashyati. Tattvaveta punaha. So other people will keep caring. But so as far as this jnani is concerned, so he doesn't care for even this sharira. Okay. So natat punah pashyati tattvaveta. So natatvaveta nandatmana brahmani lina. The reason he says is anandatmana brahmani lina vrittihi. Lina vrittihi means so all his chitta vritti is all completely dwelling in that ananda. So it is primarily for the sake of ananda that we keep moving around and do all kinds of activities. And since he keeps permanently dwelling in that ananda, so there is nothing for him to do. So he doesn't care for even basic things that are essential for sharira. So it just, so prarabdhaya samarpitam. See, there being just left to prarabdha. So whatever it has to happen, let it happen. So that is the vision of that jnana. So that is what he is trying to convey here. Vabushascha poshakam kim prarabdham channadai kim chayuhu. Annadai means so the one which feeds you with something for you to sustain. This annadai means one which gives annam. What is annam? Adyate yat tat annam. Whatever is being eaten is annam. Okay, it doesn't refer to any particular entity, whether it is fruit, or it is vegetable, or it is curd, milk, whatever it is. All of them are generally referred to as annam. Adyate ityannam. So now, annadayi kim. So what gives the food? Okay. So the answer is ayuhu. Ayuhu means, so this prarabdha which has already pedaled the sharira to live up to some stage. You understand? So that, see that this body is associated with life is the fact that makes others to come and feed him. See, there are so many jnanis. So people go and feed Sridhara Swami and so on and so forth. They go and offer. And it has to occur to him that he has to consume. Sometimes they will keep on reminding. So very well, so this is how people will say. So here what feeds is this ayu. So this life within him is noticed. Okay. And therefore that makes people come to offer him, and it is this ayu. So till whatever period, so this life energy has to be associated with this physical body. So till then, so there is something which will come to him. So annadayi chati ayuhu. In fact, for some people, the entire life is only for feeding. Normally, at least this bhavana, see that I should not keep on feeding myself too much. Should be there arising in this fellow at some stage in life, or it doesn't happen. So that I think somebody is beautifully saying there. See, Vyagri Vatishtati, Vyagri Vatishtati Sada Paritarjayanti, Vyagri Vatishtati Sada Paritarjayanti, Rogascha Shatravaiva Praharanti Deham. Ayuh Parisravati Bhinna Ghata Divamhaha. Ayuh Parisravati Bhinna Ghata Divamhaha. Acharati Ayush Parisravati Bhinna Ghata Divamhaha. This person does harm even then for himself, something like that. Lokas tatha pyahitamacharati iti chitram. See, Ayuhu, I was just reminded. See, Ayuhu Parisravati. See, so Annadayi cha Ayuhu. See, what he says is, so this is a very beautiful description. Vyagri Vatishtati Sada Paritarjayanti. See, this old age has come. So it is threatening him like a tigress. Vyagri Vatishtati Sada Paritarjayanti. Rogascha Shatravaiva Praharanti Deham. So various kinds of ailments come to him. And they are beating him like enemies. Rogascha Shatravaiva Praharanti Deham. Ayuh Parisravati. See, Ayuh Parisravati means this life. So it is just flowing out. Okay? Like the water from a pot with hole. So you fill the pot. Okay? So then, so there is a small hole. So it keeps on dripping out. And it is going to get emptied. Ayuh Parisravati Bhinna Ghata Divam Haha. Ambha means water. Lokas tatha pyahitamacharati iti chitram. Lokaha tathapi ahitam acharati. Ahitam acharati means essentially, so this understanding should be there and one should engage in doing some good things, at least in the later part. So, but he keeps on only feeding. So feeding either Vishayas or Anna into the Sharira. So that is how people spend their time. So I mean something like that he beautifully puts it. So here for the sake of Jnani, so he doesn't even care for Sharira and somebody has to come and feed. So this fellow keeps on feeding even if other fellow says don't feed. So that is the difference. So that is what that verse basically tells you. ahitam acharati iti chitram. What a wonder it is. Read this. Kim paramatsikam syat advaitam jnata kutaha anadihi vapusasya poshakam kim aradham chanadayikim chayuhu ko brahmanirupasyaha
को ब्राह्मणैरुपास्यः को ब्राह्मणैरुपास्यः
गायत्र्यर्काग्निगोचरः शम्भुः
गायत्र्यर्काग्निगोचरः शम्भुः गायत्र्यर्काग्निगोचरः शम्भुः
गायत्र्यामादित्ये चाग्नौ शम्भौ च किम् गायत्र्यामादित्ये चाग्नौ
गायत्र्यामादित्ये चाग्नौ
शम्भौ च किन्नु तत्
शम्भौ च किन्नु तत्
तत्त्वम् Tattvam is the answer. So there are basically two questions and answers in this. 165, 166. Ko brahmanirupasyaha. See, this is all coming in a certain sequence of thought of Shankara now. So he talked about, this Vedantic concepts, so Ajnata, how to get rid of, Prarabdha and so on. Now, for you to get rid of this cycle of samsara, what is to be done is basically upasana. Okay. So upasana has to be done. So upasana, so that is what, so we were just mentioning. So Shraddha Bhakti Dhyana Yoga. Upasanam is basically this dhyana. Okay. So upasanam, samipe asana. This is upasana. Ko brahmanirupasyaha. What is to be contemplated upon by Brahmanas? Okay. Ko brahmanai upasyaha. Then he gives the answer as Gayatyarkagni gochara shambhu. Gocharaha means vishayaha. So how does the word come about? Gavaha yatra charanti. Gavaha means indriyani. So wherever the indriyas keep moving around, charanti means grazing. So grazing means obviously sense objects. So that is how Vishayaha, Gochara. So Gayatri Arka Agni Gocharaha Shambhu. This is what he says. So Gayatri refers to a certain mantra. A certain mantra to which this brahmachari is initiated before he starts learning. So Upanayana, so is through which the Gayatri mantra is initiated. That is considered as a sacred mantra which is supposed to refine him in very many ways. So this Gayatri Upasya, Gayatri, so Gayatri mantra, so that has to be repeatedly chanted. Then Arka is another thing. Then the third thing that he refers to is Agni. So this Arkopasana is also there. In fact, even in the daily ritual, which is to be performed morning, evening and so on, afternoon, Sandhya, Madhyanikam. So we have a certain interesting phrase. Aso vadityo brahma, brahmiva hamasmi. This is there. This itself is like a Mahavakya. So Asova Adityo Brahma Brahmaiva Ahamasmi. Even in the mantra, Tat Saviturvarenyam, Savituhu Varenyam Bhargaha. So Bhargaha is Tejaha. That is one meaning. Okay. In fact, Bharga can also refer to Parameshwara. Bhargaya Namaha, Girisandhane Namaha. There is a Bharga. But that is Pullinga Shabda, this is Navamsakalinga. So Tejas, when it refers to it, is Navamsakalinga. Anyway, so Gayatri, Arka, then Agni Upasana. This Agni Upasana is right from, so this Upanayana, he has this Agni Upasana. Morning and evening, Smidadhana. And once he gets married, so this is Agni Hotra. So this Agni Upasana is also there, prescribed by the Shastras. So Gayatri Arka Agni Gocharaha Shambhuhu is what he says. Shambhuhu, normally we use this phrase to refer to Lord Shiva. This is how Namashambhave Chamayo Bhavecha. But if you take the meaning of the word Shambhu, so there are two components, Sham and Bhu. So like Shamkara, so Sham, Bhu. Bhu means existence. So here Sham Bhavatiti is one way of deriving this word Shambhu. Or Sham Asmat Bhavati. There are different ways in which you can derive. The components are basically Sham and Bhu. So one who is in the form of Mangala or one who blesses you with Mangala. So here, as you can understand, each of the three, so Gayatri, Agni, Arka, so all of them are so benevolent to this Upasaka. Okay. So Gayatri, Arka, Agni, Vishayaha. So because here, in the later half of the verse, so even into that entity, what is the next question. Shambhucha. So here Shambhu should be generally taken as some benevolent entity in the form of. That is how we have to understand. So this phrase, Gayatri Agni Gochara Shambhu. Then in the later half he says, Gayatriyam Aditye Agnau Shambhau Cha Kinnu Tat. Tat means that Upasyam. So Upasaka is this person, Upasyam is that entity, and Upasana is the process. So now the question is, even among those entities, so Kinnu Tat Upasyam, what is it that you have to contemplate upon? Okay? So they are different forms of one being. That is why I was saying, Asovadityo Brahma, Brahmaiva Ahamasmi. So this Brahmaiva Ahamasmi is the Tattvam. So Tattvam of entire Vedanta is Aham Brahmasmi. Okay? So this Tattvam is what is to be the ultimate purpose of this Upasana. So any of the karma that you do is primarily for preparing you to understand this Tattva. So, Gayatriyam Aditye Agnau Shambhau Cha Kinnu Tat Upasyam. So, Upasyam means, so you can take any of these forms. You can do Gayatri Mantra, you can do Arkopasana, you can do Agni Upasana, or you can do the Shankarasya Aradhana. Whatever you do, ultimately, what is it that is being worshipped? So it is in that sense, he says, Kinnu Tattvam. Tattvam means the Atma of all these beings. Okay? So Tattvam, the very word is Tatutvam. Tattvamasi, when it says, Tat refers to that primordial entity which is the cause of this universe. So Sat, that is how it starts in Chandogya. So that Sat you are is what is Tattvamasi. So it is this Tattvam, so which is referred to as Aham Brahmasmi or various other Vakyas. So that is what is to be contemplated upon. Okay? गायत्र्याम् आदित्ये च अग्नौ शम्भौ च किमु तत् उपास्यम् तत्त्वम्. Then next, read this. O ब्राह्मणैरुपास्यः गायत्र्यर्काग्निगोचरः शम्भुः गायत्र्यादित्ये चाग्नौ शम्भौ च तत्त्वम्. In fact, this mother thing, so which is to be worried about or which has to be contemplated about. There is a beautiful verse. Ajnana sarpa dashtasya Ajnana sarpa dashtasya. So there is a verse. Okay, so this ajnana is what is basically. So there is no other aushadham. See, kimu shastre kimaushadhaihi. Kimaushadhaihi. Kimu mantraihi kimaushadhaihi. Ajnana sarpa dashtasya kimu mantraihi. So, किमु वेदैश्च शास्त्रैश्च किमु मन्त्रैः किमौषधैः. What is it? तस्य ब्रह्मज्ञान. ब्रह्मज्ञानौषधं विना अज्ञानसर्पदष्टस्य ब्रह्मज्ञानौषधं विना किमु वेदैश्च शास्त्रैश्च किमु मन्त्रैः किमौषधैः. That is why he is saying, whatever you do, it is that tattvam which has to be. So, ajnana sarpa dashtasya. So, the sequence is, so the ajnana has to be gotten rid of. All these upasanas are meant for it. So, ajnana sarpa dashtasya. The one who is bitten by sarpa. Bitten by the sarpa in the form of ajnana. Brahmajnana aushadham vina. So, what other medicine can be there? Other than Brahmajnana. Brahmajnana aushadham vina kimu vedaishcha shastraischа. So vedaihi shastraihi. So these are all means for chitta shuddhi. So ultimately it has to lead to. So merely doing this is not going to help. Kimu vedaishcha shastraischа kimu mantraihi kimu aushadhaihi. So any other thing that you give, what is the point? Navidyam vinivartayete. Correct. Atma bodha. Tejastinira sanghavati. Avirodhitaya. Because so jnana and ajnana are sakshat virodhis. So dukkha is essentially due to ajnana. That is what we have in the sutra. Dukkha janma pravritti dosha mithya. So if you handle that mithya jnana, it will lead to dukkha bhava. So that is the whole idea. Next, pratyaksha devata ka.
Pratyaksha devata ka. Pratyaksha devata ka.
Mata.
Mata. Mata.
Pujyo guruschakaha tataha.
Pujyo guruschakaha tataha. Pujyo guruschakaha tataha.
Kassarva devatatma.
Kassarva devatatma. Kassarva devatatma.
Vidya karmanvito vipraha.
Vidya karmanvito vipraha. Vidya karmanvito vipraha.
There are three questions and answers. So the first is something which is extremely well known. So pratyaksha devata ka. So this is primarily, see, since he is talking about this atmajnana and so on and so forth. So Acharya also wants to impress upon what is extremely important for this person to have this worldly life. So when will it be successful? So it doesn't mean that I need not respect anything. So he says pratyaksha devata ka, the most simplest thing, okay, which is there as matru devo bhava. So pratyaksha devata means, so you don't think of deity elsewhere. So the deity in front of you. Okay. Pratyaksha Devata Ka. So which is the deity? So after all, Devata is referring to some divine power which blesses you with what you want. And in fact, when you are born, you are completely helpless being. The only person who blessed you with what you need is Mata. So whether it is cleaning the body or feeding the body. So therefore, Mata is considered as Pratyaksha Devata Ka Mata. Then Pujyo Guruschakaha Tataha. Tataha means Pita. Tataha generally refers to some respectable person. But Pita is more general sense in which it is used. So Pujyo Guruschakaha. Pujyaha Guruscha. Both. Okay? So Pujyaha means to be highly respected, venerated. Guruscha means one who teaches you. Okay? So both Mata and Pita are Guru, and he describes so with more reverence. Okay? Mata, Pratyaksha Devata. The phrases are there. So Shruti says Mother Devo Bhava, Pitar Devo Bhava. So Pujyo Guruschakaha Ataha. Then he moves on so to the next round. So besides Mata and Pita, so who is to be highly respected? So there the answer is Kassalva Devatatma Yaha Karmanvito Vipraha. There are phrases which have been very carefully chosen here. See, Sarva Devatatma is a very strong phrase. See, Sarva Devatatma means the one who is the embodiment of all devatas. Understand? Sarva Devatatma means Sarva Devata Swarupaha. That is what one has to understand. So the answer is Vipraha. But Vipra is qualified as Vidya Karmanvitaha. In fact, Vipraha itself, see, Visheshena, so the one who engages in Veda. That is how the word so Vipraha itself comes. So this, see, this word Vidya Karmanvitaha. See, Vidyanvitaha Karmanvitascha. Okay. So Vidyanvitaha Karmanvitaha means, so he should have studied Veda, Vedanga, etc. properly first of all. Okay. That is Vidyanvitaha. Okay. So then Karmanvitaha is so one who conducts himself in accordance with what has been stated. Okay. So karma is Shastra Vihitam karma. So that is what one has to understand. So Vidya Karmanvitaha Yaha Praha. So essentially Acharya. Okay. So Achinochita Shastrani Achare Sthapayatyapi. So that is what is meant by Vidya Karmanvito Vipraha. In fact, there is a nice verse. So it says, why should they be respected? It is the verse goes Mantradhinam tu Daivatam Anmantram Brahmanadin Brahmano Mama Devata. There is a verse like this. Daivadhinam Jagat Sarvam. Okay? Daivadhinam. In order to highlight the importance of Brahmana, who try to invoke the blessings of Devatas through mantras. There is a nice verse. Daivadhinam Jagat Sarvam. So Jagat Sarvam Daivadhinam. Okay? So you cannot do anything. Daivadhinam Jagat Sarvam. Mantradhinam tu Daivatam. Tanmantram Brahmanadhinam. Brahmano Mama Devata. Brahmano Mama Devata. Something. So a real Brahmana. So that is what is referred to Vidya Karmanvito Vipraha. Read. प्रत्यक्षदेवता का माता
पूज्यो गुरुश्चकः तातः कः सर्वदेवतात्मा विद्याकर्मान्वितो विप्रः
ओम सर्वे सुखिनः सन्तु सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ओम